Welcome. This is the Committee on Ben, and I'm Patrick Sheldon. It's proverbial that more people resent bad service than mediocre food, but some restaurants with notoriously snooty staff prosper. So why is that? Anthony, I think you have a take on this.
Well, they must be rather foolish people like Snooty staff, I think. I think one of the reasons Italian restaurants are so successful is part of Italian culture is knowing how to do a job and do it with great dignity and elegance, you know. And not everybody has that gift.
Brett, how do you see the restaurant attitude as affecting the experience?
Well, you know, I think Gotham was a reaction in many ways to the snooty, snobbish, and at the time French standard in New York. So we work very hard to have educated staff who have their own personality, and yet, you know, there are certain standards that we have to live by and follow. I find that most people, many young people coming into restaurants, don't necessarily understand a lot about how to behave socially, and so there can oftentimes be a period of educating them.
Do phones, texts, and such go off in the restaurant?
Yes, I mean, phones have become a way of life. There's no getting around it. We have a lot of people who take photos. I mean, it's unbelievable. It's actually added, we've calculated that it's added about 5 minutes to the dining experience, and particularly on tourist periods where you have a lot of tourists in there, you'll see that the turn time, what we call in the industry turn time on a table, has been extended by 5 minutes because people stopping the service so they can take a photo.
Does that work in the favor of the restaurant business for having these things appear on TripAdvisor and Yelp and other websites?
I mean, fortunately for us, it helps us because we're generally positive. You know, you generally want to know how long the table is going to be occupied so that you can plan your next reservation or your next seating. It doesn't affect us in a dramatic fashion.
Well, you mentioned France before. Now, they have something in Europe now that's called the slow food movement. Mm-hmm. Can you tell us what that is and how it affects you?
Well, the slow food movement, I think it actually began is more Italian than it is French, but it may be influencing France as well. But there is also Slow Food USA, and it's a reaction to the unhealthy fast food culture that was really created in the 30s, if you want to go back that far, when everything was about convenience. So isn't it convenient? Just get a TV dinner, put it in the oven, and then throw everything away. Now, you know, so the slow food is about taking your time, treating the ingredients with respect, and making food about community and family more than it is about eating and simple pleasure. So it affects, it's great, we're part of it, you know, so I think it's a good thing.
Now let me ask you about fast food because everyone always slams it. Is it possible to have healthy fast food?
Oh yes, I think so. I mean, I think salads are probably relatively quick to make. I think you see a lot of outlets now popping up trying to deal with this. Life Kitchen out in California, started by a couple of guys out of McDonald's, and it's LYFE if anyone's looking it up, looking to create something where you can go in and get something quickly that is healthy and you know, not take a lot of time. I do think it's possible, and I think it's the future.
Well, we touched on it before when we talked about cell phones and texting and such, but that adds to the noise of a restaurant. Ambiance is very important in a restaurant. What about loudness and such? How do they handle that?
I generally find that people now, today, are enough aware when they go into a restaurant, like they do when they go into a theater, or a television studio for that matter, and they put their phone on vibrate or on silent. We don't get a lot of we get people talking. I've gone to tables and asked them to quiet down, because if it doesn't stop in a couple of minutes, now you're interfering with everybody's experience. But I don't see it as I don't see it as a major problem. I think people have learned phone etiquette.
There is a trend now on the web to rate restaurants for noise levels. Do you think that's fair?
I do.
Is it?
Yeah, I think restaurants should pay attention. I think they should think, we do it all the time. We think about what is the guest experience, and it's going to be affected by the noise level. So it should be, yes. I want to know when I want to go to a restaurant, you know, am I going to be able to hear?
Anthony, do you read the restaurant noise levels and that data on the sites?
No, I don't, because I try to keep fairly quiet. I don't want people to listen to what I'm saying, for a start.
Right. Do you agree with the idea that they should rate restaurants for sound, for noise?
I think it's a good idea, yeah.
Yeah.
Some people can be really obnoxious.
Very good.
By the way, I don't think one should talk about fast food without ignoring one of the great inventions of our time, invented by British noblemen for use in military campaigns, the sandwich.
Mm-hmm.
Ah,
Lord sandwich, yes?
Exactly, the original fast food.
the original fast food. Very good. Well, thank you both so much for joining us. In our upcoming segment, we'll be speaking with the former editor of Psychology Today about job interviews. We'll learn how to do well in them and whether they do what they're supposed to do. Stay with us. This is BEN, where jobs come first. I'm Patrick Sheldon.